We know about the Golden State Warriors and how they're one of the biggest teams in the NBA right now. I mean, they literally just came off a big comeback last night. They're 13-2. Steph Curry's playing like an MVP. Steph Curry's playing the best basketball he's played in a long time. Klay's set to make a return soon. James Wiseman's going to make a return soon. Everything about the Warriors is what's really big in the NBA right now. And when you're a team like the Warriors, I mean, I would be talking about them a lot. I mean, I've done that in the past couple videos. However, no one seems to be talking about the Phoenix Suns. Because let's remember, this team made the NBA Finals last year, and the big argument was that, oh, they got lucky, oh, they played teams that weren't that good, the injuries, all this and that, when Phoenix went through just as much injuries as well. But no one wants to talk about that, especially now that the Milwaukee Bucks have a terrible record right now. A lot of people are coming back to that argument. However, I think it's very safe to say that whatever team you're going with, whether it was the Phoenix Suns and the Bucks, they both had a little bit of luck, but at the end of the day, they still won their games. They couldn't control who they had to play, and that's a fact. But I said this last year and I'll say it again. Last year, when the Phoenix Suns went on their run, I said I think this is the start of something new, and I've said that a lot with teams that like end up losing the championship and it turns out that they never make it back or they never even come close. However, Miami got swept in the first round after they made the NBA Finals the previous year, and they were never a top team. Phoenix was a top team last year, and so far they're a top team this year. Last year, they were just one game away from being the #1 seed in the Western Conference. However, this video is not a video talking about last year's season, as that is last year's season and we're on a whole new season. Same to last year, the Phoenix Suns are on a very hot start right now. In fact, as I'm recording this video, they're on a 10-game win streak. I believe they started like 1-3. Mind you, like within the first 4 or 5 games, a lot of analysts, a lot of people were saying, oh, these like contenders, teams like the Clippers, maybe the Suns, the Nets, the Bucks, they were like, oh, you know, these teams, they're all like 1-3 or like 2-5 or something like that. Oh, they're not that good, fraud team. But anyways, after 10 straight wins, the Phoenix Suns are now 11-3 and 1.5 games back from the Golden State Warriors. They play the Dallas Mavericks tonight, who I don't even know if they have Luka Doncic again, so if they can win the same way they did on Wednesday night, then I'm sure they'll be just fine. Now, they do play the Golden State Warriors on November 30th, so I do believe that if everything goes right, that the winner of that will be the 1 seed, or a lot of people will be looking at them as the best team in the NBA, because the Phoenix Suns have never been the flashiest team in the NBA. The Warriors have Steph Curry and all that different stuff, and yes, they have other different players, but he's like the main guy, and we're all looking at Steph Curry because he's playing like an MVP, which is fair. Yes, the Phoenix Suns have players like Devin Booker and Chris Paul, and you could even say DeAndre Ayton, but they don't have that flash, which I think last year is one of the reasons why Phoenix wasn't even in the top 5 when it came to contenders to win the NBA Finals, when this team was the 2nd seed in the Western Conference. Monty Williams should have won Coach of the Year last year, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's up for the running this year because Monty Williams is amazing. And honestly, I think I would like to argue that this year's team has potential to be better than last year's team, because yes, it's most likely the same team, but there are a couple small things that the Suns did. And in the process, I think we just lost Javon Carter, and obviously Dario Saric tore his ACL, so he's out for the year. But the Suns bringing in Landry Shamet for trading what I think was their 2nd round draft pick, and they also got JaVale McGee. That definitely helped. Now, I've been someone that's been saying that Mikal Bridges is one of the most underrated players in the NBA. Now, in my opinion, I think Mikal Bridges is the best example of a 3-and-D player, but that can do a little bit more because the way he's able to drive to the basket, or he's one of the best cutters in the NBA. He's the league's most underrated defender, and he should have been in the first all-team defense. You have Cam Johnson, who's just a power forward version of that, but not as good defense. Or what about Jay Crowder? He's our starting power forward, and he's mostly a 3 player, not, I wouldn't say a D player, but he still has a good veteranship leader part. I don't even have to get into Chris Paul and Devin Booker, who are 2 of the best players in the NBA right now, and you can make an argument both are going to be future Hall of Famers. Cam Payne plays the best backup point guard role in the NBA that I think I've seen. I know I'm missing other players on the bench and in the rotation, but that's not the whole point. I'm just giving you a little bit of a description on why this team is so dominant. Other than Chris Paul and Devin Booker, players like DeAndre Ayton, who's still a top center in my opinion, doesn't get as much respect, and a lot of people are not even putting him in the top 5, which I think is very disrespectful. But even outside of those 3, a lot of these players aren't getting love. Players like Mikal Bridges and JaVale McGee for his rotation parts, and Cameron Payne, they don't get respect. Now, I could be a little biased, and I probably am, but in my personal opinion, I think the Phoenix Suns bench stacks very well much up with the Golden State Warriors, and possibly even better. Now, something that I love about Phoenix is that they have so many options when it comes to scoring the ball. I mean, when it comes to just their starting lineup in general, like let's say Chris Paul wants to drive, oh, he can't score, kick it out to Devin Booker. Booker can't score, I can dish it out to Mikal. He could hit the 3, pass it out to Crowder. He's a good 3-point shooter. Even give it back to Ayton in the post. The point is that every single player except DeAndre Ayton that I just mentioned can make a 3-ball. But the thing is that the Phoenix Suns don't need DeAndre Ayton to constantly hit 3-balls. Chris Paul or Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton run a perfect pick and roll offense that a lot of defenses cannot stop. Ayton is one of the best players at setting a pick and obviously doing a pick and roll, but getting an alley-oop dunk, I don't know why. He's just one of the best players when it comes to doing it. It always works with him. I would also like to keep in mind that the Phoenix Suns are #1 in the league when it comes to field goal percentage. The Phoenix Suns do have an interesting schedule in these upcoming games. They don't really play that many good teams besides the Nuggets on November 21st, and then they play the Nets 3 days before they play the Warriors. And the fun thing about that is 2 days later they play the Pistons, and the following day they get to play the Warriors again, which I guarantee you both of those Warriors games are going to be on ESPN, because there is no debate. These are the two best teams in the West right now, and arguably the NBA. And in my opinion, I think that the Phoenix Suns are honestly tricking the NBA right now, because who is saying that the Phoenix Suns are the best team in the league? No one. They're all saying the Warriors, the Nets, even the Bulls. No one is talking about the Suns. And it's not like this team made the Western Conference Finals and oh darn, we were so close. This was a team that was what, 2 games away from winning the NBA Finals. And I don't want to hear the dumb argument, oh but this team got injured and this player, I don't want to hear it. Regardless, the Bucks made the finals, the Suns made the finals. At the end of the finals though, the Bucks ended up winning, and that's just fine. So why no one has even been talking about the Phoenix Suns right now, they probably should be very soon. And only recently in the NBA power rankings have people been like, oh this is the second best team just because of their win streak. Win streak or not, this is still one of the best teams in the NBA, and I think that they're gonna stay like this for a very long time. Because I'm not someone that honestly likes to talk about this Robert Sarver situation. It's very interesting and I don't even want to comment on it until the official, I guess, statement comes out. However, Robert Sarver is well known for being a very cheap person and does not like spending money on people. And if Phoenix continues to win and win, they don't have to go to the finals again, but just being a top team in the West, then don't you think a point guard when Chris Paul's about to retire is going to be like, I want to go to Phoenix? Or that campaign will develop and he could possibly take over for Phoenix. Dude, what about D'Angelo Russell? I know him and Devin Booker are like really good friends. Phoenix has a bright future, and that's a fact, and I think this team needs to start being talked about as one of the best teams in the NBA, because it's very disrespectful the way people talk about them. Yes, I'm a diehard Phoenix Suns fan and I'm gonna want to talk about them in a good light. However, I've witnessed a lot of the games for the Phoenix Suns last year. I witnessed every playoff game and I've witnessed every regular season game this season so far. But when I tell you that I have the ability to talk about this certain team, and when I can tell you what I see in them, I'm not kidding. So in the comment section below, I want you guys to comment, do you think Phoenix should be regarded as a good team or one of the top teams in the West, or do you think last year was a fluke and they're gonna have to prove themselves again? Of course, if you did enjoy this video, make sure you do leave a like on it, subscribe to the channel if you're new, turn on the post notifications. I'm gonna be responding to every single comment. Thank you so much for checking out this video. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have an amazing day. Take care. Peace.